Hi, Minder.
Hi, Nikki.
We're back, bitches.
Back
again.
in black.
Tag team, back again. Check it, correct it. Let's begin. Yep.
We did two directions.
Yep, we did. It's fine. Anyway, hi, we're a podcast, and we talk about shit every week. And we're back again to do that.
Podcasty things, you might say.
Yeah, podcasty things, you might say. Things and such. We are two neurodivergent best friends traveling the neuroverse together because we are living in a neurotypical world and we are not neurotypical girls. Amanda.
What?
Let's remind the folks what we're talking about today. It's sort of a continuation of last week, but different, right?
Yeah, basically just don't always trust shit. And I mean that in the least conspiracy way possible. Like,
yeah,
just do your own research on some things. Like, yes, experts are experts for a reason, but people on TikTok are not experts for the most part. Like Instagram, Facebook, so don't YouTube. You know, we're not experts in anything, so don't even trust us. Just
right.
We don't know shit. We just talk. We find shit and we talk about shit, and then we just basically do your own research. Don't take things at face value.
Yes, ma'am. Okay. So let's roll into it. We didn't really do no bullshitting on the last episode. Do you have anything to bullshit about, actually? Do we need to bullshit about anything, or we just want to start?
No, I mean, I've been playing more of my game, Dragon Age Veilguard. Yesterday, I had to stop and reload a save and walk away from the game because it like just hit you with a, hey, you have to make this major decision and you have to make it right now. And everything you do is gonna, it's gonna impact the rest of the game. And it's like, you don't understand. I have decision fatigue. You can't do this to me. And also I can't, this is why I can't be like a leader or military commander or whatever, because it's like, I can't make these kinds of decisions. So I literally had to reload a save and like just walk away from the game. Like, I can't make this decision right now. You don't make it. No. And so even it's fake. I understand it's fake, but it's one of those things. And then I know for you, this is posting after what's going on with you. So,
yeah.
If you
we didn't even talk about it last episode, but
yeah.
At the time you're listening to this, will have already have my gallbladder removed. At the time we're recording
she's in the club. She'll be in the club now.
Yeah, I will be joining the club of Aminder, who is gallbladderless. Just more things we have in common, Amanda. We're just racking them up, bitch. Anyway,
we started here, and now we're here.
Here, yeah. But yeah, so I've been having some problems with the gallbladder. Definitely can say I know what level 10 pain feels like now. And I'm just ready for it to go at this juncture. This is the Sunday before my surgery. My surgery will be Wednesday of this week, so the 20th. Today is the 17th as we record this. But by the time you're hearing it, it's already been evicted. And hopefully I will be fine and everything has gone fine and everything is good to go, because this is a fairly routine surgery. Should not be a big fucking deal, but we all know my body doesn't like to cooperate worth a shit. So let's just all send the good vibes that I'm actually fine. We're going to put that in the universe. It's fine. I'm fine. Everything's fine. Okay? Okay. We're just going to put that out there. But anyway, that's all that's really going on with me. I've been trying to... Speaking of games, though, oh my god, I just got talked about it for just a fucking second. Because by the time this comes out, also, the next DLC for Dreamlight Valley will have dropped, because it also drops on the day of my fucking surgery. But I'm so pumped. We are fucking finally getting Maleficent. Finally. We're finally getting fucking Maleficent, and I'm so fucking pumped about it. Excited.
When she told me, like, the DLC will include Aurora and Maleficent, I'm like, wouldn't, like, the mainstream Disney princesses and villains be in the original? But I guess not.
That's how they do you in this game. They pick and choose who you get.
Yeah, it's money. It's a money-making thing.
And then they send you DLCs to expand it further. they did not do the whole let's start with all the Disney princesses. They were like, let's just do it however the fuck we want to do it and go from there. So they have left out a lot. Like the only Disney princesses that you get from Jump in this that are just normal part of the regular main base game is you get Anna and Elsa, you get Moana, you get Belle, you get Tiana, and you get
Like Mulan, Ariel.
Ariel and Mulan. But Mulan is no, because Mulan's in the DLC. Mulan's in the Rift in Time, so Mulan is not part of the base game. You have to have the Rift in Time DLC
or like
to
Pocahontas or anything.
Yeah, none of that. So that is the only Disney princesses you start with. And you get Mother Gothel, as far as villains go, you get Mother Gothel, but not Rapunzel. Rapunzel's in the first DLC. You get Mother Gothel, Ursula, Scar, and who else? Mother Gothel, Ursula, Scar. I think that's it for villains.
Only 3?
I feel like that's it for villains.
Like Gaston or
no, that's DLC. You get Gaston in the DLC. You get in the first DLC, you get Gaston and you get Jafar. He's the main villain.
Like Lady Tremaine.
No. I don't. You don't even get. You get Fairy Godmother in the main game, but you don't get Cinderella. So yeah, they have all these little things that they're doing, right? And you get Merlin, but not from
not Arthur.
Sword in the Stone, but not what the fuck the kid's name is. That's
Arthur.
Fucking Arthur. Yeah, it's leaving me right now.
But
the
I can't
whole
remember.
Fucking main character of the goddamn show.
I don't know if his name's Arthur or not in the show. I just know he's basically Arthur, but I don't know if that's his name.
So Merlin is who you first meet. He's the first character you meet in the thing. But like, listen, I'm not spoiling shit. The game is surrounded around you. Like the main theme is like you have to come back to Dreamlight Valley and fix a bunch of shit that you broke unintentionally when you got older.
So you're a major fuck up.
Yeah, when you got older and disenfranchised by it and fucked off. Okay,
so you were like from Dreamlight Valley, and so
yeah,
okay,
yes, it's like healing. You have to basically heal your inner child in the game.
See, I thought you like played the different characters and like leveled them up or something.
No, you have your own character, and then you're like the ruler of Dreamlight Valley or whatever, and then all the characters like interact. You can interact with them, and you have quests that you do with them, and there's main story quests and there's side quests. Listen, it's the ADHD person's worst nightmare and best time ever, all wrapped into fucking one. Okay, but anyway, yeah. So there's Rift in Time, which is the first DLC that came out, which I did have on Xbox. And then I had it on Xbox, the Game Pass that I had like a free subscription for. And then Amanda so graciously bought it for me, but bought it on Steam, which is totally fine. I don't really care because I don't want to do Xbox Game Pass. I don't play enough shit on there for that to really matter. And I want to actually own the game. So Amanda bought that for me, and I was very, very happy about it. She's the best friend ever. So I am going to wait till the Steam sale on the 27th to purchase it because there is a bundle that you can get with both DLCs and a bunch of bonus content, and then you'll have all the shit and the complete game at that moment. So I have to wait 7 days, just a whole week after it launches to own it, because I'm not paying full price for it when a week later it's going to be cheaper during the Steam sale. So anyway, I digress. That's a whole ass thing, and I'm super fucking pumped about it. But I'm like trying to push through the main storyline and get all these people in the game, get all their storylines completed, get everyone to level 10 friendship so that when I'm ready to like start the DLC, I have nothing else to do in the main game. Everyone's where they need to be. Everybody's good to go. And when I'm ready to DLC, I can just focus on DLC and don't have to focus on the main story. So that's what we're doing. But anyway, bullshitting over. Let's talk about social media and the internet and hearing shit on the internet and then taking it at face value and not doing your own research. It is actually a fucking pet peeve of mine that people will just believe shit off top. and not
If
go
it's like
farther into
a
it.
picture with words, they just automatically believe it.
Right. However, I can also call my own self out on this because I tend to be quite gullible. And I think that's why in my past, and even still now, some shit can get me. I'm not fucking perfect at this. But I think because I was so fucking gullible in the past and I saw how many times I ended up getting like believing
Burned.
some shit that was perfect bullshit, right? Now I'm really fucking skeptical of everything and everyone and everything everyone fucking says, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't believe shit you say. Not a fucking thing. Until I can lay eyes on it myself, I can hear it for myself, I can read it for my fucking self. I don't believe you. Sorry, I don't. I don't care if my husband's favorite saying is I don't care if your tongue comes to me notarized. I don't give a shit. I don't believe you. So I've turned into a real cynical bitch, and I kind of want to talk about why I feel like everybody should adopt that a little bit more because apparently I'm the only person who's right in the fucking world, right? That's why.
Exactly.
Uh, so, yeah, I just kind of want to talk about it. That's my intro to it. Amanda, before I go off on my fucking tangent that will have us here for 4.5 hours, how do you feel about this topic? Have you found yourself more of a skeptic or more of a face value believer in your past? And how has that shaped you to this
I
point?
I can say I've been pretty gullible before as well. Like I'm not sure if it's more of a like a blanket thing, like I've always been gullible and then I just wasn't, but it's kind of like I'm becoming less and less gullible as time goes on because I feel like, you know, as an adult you kind of become more and more jaded and everything. Which not necessarily a good thing, but it helps us survive, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But it's kind of like the whole I've been more gullible in terms of because we didn't really have like social media growing up. Like I've been more gullible in terms of people like telling me things like believing people like say like people I thought people were my friends or something when they were really like pieces of shit, that sort of thing. And I know you feel the same way about certain people.
Yeah.
So but in terms of like social media stuff, it's kind of like even like say like even if we get like political stuff, like there's certain things even on and not to be like this kind of person, but even on both sides, like yes, the both sides will post stuff about the other side. And I'll have friends, like I'll even have like liberal friends that I'll call out and be like, that's you're believing this just because it agrees with your confirmation bias. That doesn't it doesn't but if you look it up, it doesn't mean it's true. And I've had people get mad at me for disproving them, even if we agree politically. I've had people get mad at me. I'm like, that's not. But I'm also, I think it might come like the autistic side of it though, is because I have like the sense of justice. It's like, okay, I can't have a sense of justice if I believe every single thing that I read. Right?
Right.
It's harder to have a sense of justice if what you're believing isn't really happening. That's my
Right.
take on it.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. Agree on all points. Um, so I think to demonstrate farther from what our first, how we first ended up on this topic, if you didn't listen last week, was that we found a video talking about a particular kind of autism profile that when I did further research trying to figure out, like on believing this thing, I was like, oh, because the person sounded very educated. They sounded like they really knew what they were talking about. And it seemed very well explained. So I'm thinking, oh, this must be something I just haven't heard before. Let me go do a little bit more research. I want to see if I can find maybe a test or a quiz. Amanda suggested maybe we find a test or a quiz that figures this out because we'd love to take those. Couldn't find a motherfucking thing other than debunking everything this person was saying, essentially. Um, and it turned into a whole discussion. So go listen to last week's episode if you haven't already, and that'll explain more about how we got here. But I also wanted to take this into a further discussion of like in general. It is so easy. Even well-intentioned people, I think, can spread misinformation, right? We're not
Mm-hmm.
always talking about grifters. We're not always talking about like these people who actively know that they are spitting bullshit, right?
Right. It's like they are sharing what they believe is correct, and they don't always do it maliciously.
Right.
It's only when if like you call out about it, then they get like mad. And I don't mean call out like in a rude sense, like, hey, I don't just saying like, hey, I don't believe this is true, like this is what I found. And if they get upset about it, then to me that's more malicious. And
Right.
like it's almost like you're calling them a liar. It's like I'm not calling you a liar. I'm just saying like, hey, maybe don't share this information when this is not true. You're just perpetuating this, that sort of
Right.
thing. But people have like I think people in general have more good intentions than bad. It's just whether or not they just tend to share stuff that either they believe or just fits with their worldview, and so they might just not they're not sharing it maliciously.
Right. But it does become a problem because then we get this a problem
Misinformation.
in the sense, yeah, a
Yeah.
problem in the sense that um people who don't tend to use their own brain will just believe this shit. And it then becomes massive what am I trying to say? Widely accepted as truth, okay?
Like basically if someone sees like a post that has like 100,000 shares, they're gonna be like, oh, that must be true. So many people shared it.
Right. It becomes widely accepted as truth, and the more validity it seems to have, the less likely people are to research against it. And I think it is really important, especially fucking now, in the world that we live in, to stop, kind of to harken back to what we said before, stop making it the internet's problem, or your internet, or the social media platforms problem, or the news outlets problem, even though this shouldn't be a fucking problem on the news. Well, I digress on that. To give you correct information, you need to start becoming a a seeker of knowledge,
A critical thinker.
a critical thinker. Thank you. That's the word I was looking for. You need to start becoming a critical thinker. It is imperative to develop critical thinking skills in the world we live in, because it is so easy for well-intentioned people and not well-intentioned people to shape your beliefs and your worldview easier now than it is, I think, maybe ever been, or at least more widely spread than it's ever been. I think there's probably been a version of such in each um maybe decade in time, or era in time. There's been a version of this
Well,
occurring.
think of like back in the day when they used to like town criers. Like a town crier
Yeah.
was kind of like accepted as being like, oh, well, they're basically spreading the news of something. So that must be true. It's like, well, the town crier can
Right.
just make up whatever the fuck he wants, you know. And so,
Correct.
and you're
Or
just
whoever he
believing this
works
guy.
for
Or like think of
is, yeah.
back in the day, very few people could read, and
Yeah.
so say like like say a church had the one Bible in its position because printing Bible like printing was expensive, and so
Right.
that's why like when you see really old Bibles, they are huge because
Mhm.
they had to be big to be seen by a lot of people. And so but when you have say like a preacher, priest, pastor, whatever, and they're the only person that can read and they can they're preaching from this book, but only they know what it says. That can create a lot of like basically a lot of doubt, a lot of spreading of false information if one person like has the information but they don't. Basically it's kind of like when someone mistranslates something on purpose. Like you see that like
Yeah.
in movies, like a translator will mistranslate something on purpose for someone just to get what they want, that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
so it's been happening since the dawn of time. Like,
Yeah. But I feel
it's just
like,
a lot easier now,
especially,
especially with social
yeah.
media.
Yeah, exactly. You need to use your own brain. Okay? Use your own brain. Do your own research on everything. And I do mean fucking everything. It cannot hurt you. It can only help you. Knowledge can only broaden your fucking worldview, right? Just don't believe shit off top. Do not take people's word as gospel, so to speak. Do not do that, because it is too fucking easy to be misled these days. It just is. Again, like we said, you don't have to be an intentional grifter or someone who's trying their best to lead folks astray. It could be as simple as someone truly thought this was the truth, shared it, end up being bullshit,
It's
right?
kind of like that one quote that you see. It's like a picture of Abraham Lincoln, and it said, "Don't believe everything you read on the internet just because there's a picture with a quote next to it." Abraham Lincoln. Hmm.
Right. So, um, I'm gonna send you one more link here. It's just basically my results of my Google search. Um, I just typed into Google easily debunked myths,
Yeah.
just
And
because.
and what you said about like expanding like your worldview and everything, it reminded me of this. I was looking at this other quote by Mark Twain. It said, "Travel is fatal to prejudice, bigotry, and narrow-mindedness, and many of our people need it sorely on these accounts. Broad, wholesome, charitable views of men and things cannot be acquired by vegetating in one little corner of the earth all of one's lifetime." So basically expand your
Preach.
mind. Like I'm not saying like, oh, go out and travel the world because obviously not everyone can do that. So I'm not saying like, and I'm saying that traveling the world makes someone like less of a bigot. Like someone could be a completely piece of shit person and travel the world, and that means absolutely nothing to them. It's more of a letting yourself be open minded to the possibilities that you may not be right all the time.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm gonna send you one more link. Just because I can.
Mm-hmm.
This one has some other things, and we can kind of pick and choose which ones we like from where. We don't have to read every one of these. But one of the most easy ones that you've heard, I'm pretty sure lots of people have heard this, okay? And this from the link I just sent you. We only use 10% of our brain. How many people have
They
heard
even
that?
made a movie. They even made a movie about that called Lucy with like Scarlett. I think it was Scarlett Johansson and like Morgan Freeman, and they're like, I think it was Lucy, but like basically the premise of the movie is like, oh, she has all these superpowers because she uses 100% of her brain. It's like,
Right,
no, if we only like that would be a terrible evolution, evolution
right,
development. If we only used what will be the point? Like, okay, just remove 90% of our brain. If we only use 10% of it, what will be the point of the rest of it then?
right. So this comes from uchealth.org.
Or
This little factoid underneath it says this is false. This is a motivational speaker's ploy that can be traced back to the early 1900s to encourage people to live up to their full potential. Studies of the brain activity have provided no evidence that only 10% of the brain has used. So, bullshit, right?
yeah,
But how many people believe that?
my mom believes still some of these because like she'll. I remember one time I like even like I think even a few months ago I had taken a shower and I was gonna go outside or something, and she was like, "Well, you can't go outside. You get sick." I'm like, "That that's not how that works, right? You don't get sick because your hair is wet. That's not."
Yeah,
And also even just kind of like not even like human body aspect, but remember growing up. I don't know if your mom did this, but my parents definitely did, where we couldn't have the light on in the car at night because that was illegal.
yeah,
They said that was
yeah,
illegal to have like it's more of a like they just one didn't want it on and two it's distracting obviously to have like a light
right.
in your car while you're driving, but it's not illegal. They just said, "Oh, we can't turn that on at night. It's illegal." And we just
Yeah,
believed it as kids. We just believed it.
yeah. And then here's another one. Shaved hair grows back thicker and
My
darker.
mom my mom says that all the time.
Yeah, false. Although your mom may have told you this is a young girl, so you wouldn't be eager to start shaving your legs, it's not true because the hair is newer. It may not have yet been bleached by the sun, and it also appears darker and thicker. So it's bullshit. Another one: chewing gum stays in your stomach for 5 to 7 years. False. Most chewing gum is not digestible, meaning that it will travel through your system in a matter of 2 to 4 days. It's just like insoluble fiber. It's not going to digest, so it's just going to come right the fuck out. It's not sitting in there
Yeah.
festering for
Yeah, it's like
7 fucking years.
like and it's like I don't know where this like where this comes from or like basically you have to wait to go swimming or something like an hour after you eat. It's like otherwise you'll drown or something like
Right.
that.
And then another one: microwaves cause cancer. Healthcare professionals do not consider microwave ovens a cancer risk. The food does not retain radiation and does not become contaminated. And if you like go a little further on this, like the kind of radio waves that are used, like there's one that says like it heats food by reacting with the water in the food. That's false. It reacts with other kind of molecules, and it's the whole thing. Like there's a whole thing on microwaves and debunking that shit. Bats are blind. Bats have limited vision due to their small eyes, but they are not blind. Most bats have better night vision than and often hunt at night. So they're not blind, they just have tiny eyes and they can see better at night.
Yeah.
So, and they also use echolocation to help them see, right?
Or
But
like
they don't
or
they're not
like
blind.
or like owls are wise. No, owls are fucking dumb. Like owls are like one of the dumbest birds, I think. I feel like wise as an owl. Like I think it's because like the whole Greek thing, like Athena was like the wisdom, the goddess of wisdom, and like an
Yeah.
owl was her animal. And so it's
Yeah,
like
she was depicted with owls.
yeah, and so it's that sort of thing. Like it, you know, it's basically they're with our wise as an owl. Like no, well, owls are fucking dumb. They're
Yeah.
they're really dumb. They're like pigeons.
And then, okay, here's this one. Do you remember this shit from when you were a kid? Deoxygenated blood is blue. Do you remember that
Yeah,
one?
or like yeah, it's like basically like your veins are blue, and that's because like
Mm-hmm.
that's yeah, and it's like no, it's just because the how your skin reacts, like how
Yep.
basically a lighting thing, like
Yep.
how it reacts with the color. Like if you like were to cut this open, this would it would be blue, it'd be red. Like it's not because it got cut open, it turns from blue to red. That makes no
Right.
sense.
Exactly. Because your red blood cells
Yeah, you
are
don't have
still
blue
red.
blood. It's you know, and it's
They're
same
not
thing
blue
like
blood.
yeah, you're not noble. It's not nobility being blue bloods. You know.
Right. Okay. So, and then, oh my God, the sugar makes children hyper thing. We're going to piss off every
Almond
crunchy
mom.
mom
Yeah, every almond granola mom.
in the entire planet right now. Sugar does not make your children fucking hyper. Okay. It has
It's not
nothing
good
to
to eat
fucking
all
do
the
with it.
time, but
Right.
it's food. It's
Right.
sugar, you know.
It doesn't make your kid
Your
fucking
body
hyper.
needs sugar.
Yes. Our brains literally function best off glucose.
Hmm.
So it's what our body metabolizes, what our
Like
brain metabolizes.
and like there's no like good or bad sugar either. It's kind of like
No.
yes there's like highly processed foods, but like there's no like there's this one guy, I don't follow him, but like anytime he like comes up on my algorithm feed or whatever, he's like a nutritionist, personal trainer or something, and he like debunks all these things. He like people are like, oh, there's all you know, you only need to eat this kind of sugar, not this kind of sugar. He's like, there's no. He's like, as he's like drinking like a diet Mountain Dew, he's like, uh-huh. it's it's so it's like and so it's like he's like, yeah, he's like, you shouldn't eat sugar all the time. He's like, obviously, but he goes, there's something wrong with like regular sugar. You don't need fancy sugar or sweetener or something there, or even like saying all sweeteners are bad, like all like non-sugar sweeteners are bad. It's like he's like, they're fine in moderation. Like everything's fine in moderation.
Yeah. Here's another cool one I actually just found. This is more like science myths. So we want to like these are more like folk tale things of like wives' tales and things that we've heard, colloquialisms and shit. This is a science one, okay? This is from the Orlando Science Center.
I like those posts where before I'm clicking on this, I like those posts where it's like, what is one thing that you learned in school that is now debunked? Like the whole like Christopher Columbus discovered America. It's like Christopher Columbus
Yes.
never landed in America. And like, even
Nope.
if you say America as in the continent, because like the United States is we're pretty what's the word, like self-isolationist. Like we're really like into ourselves, that sort of thing, where we think like, oh, and the rest of the world likes to be very pedantic. Well, America means the whole continent. It just not means the US. I'm like, well, we can't, it's hard to say like United States of American, okay? Like it's easier to say American than saying like United Statesian, okay?
Right, right.
And so it's like, but even if you say the continent, Columbus never landed here. So it's just
No, never
yeah.
made it. Never even got that fucking far.
Mm-hmm.
So the first one, were you ever told to stop cracking your knuckles because it causes arthritis?
Yeah.
I got that shit all the time because arthritis runs in my family. So
Yeah.
they're like, quit cracking your fucking knuckles. You're gonna get fucking arthritis. You want your knuckles to look like my knuckles? Stop that shit. My grandpa all the fucking time. So that's the myth. The science is that it might be annoying to people around you, but there's zero correlation to this. And there was actually a study done. There's no link. However, those who excessively cracked their knuckles did have a slightly weaker grip strength later in life. That's about it.
Mm-hmm.
Another cool one is the bulls. Bulls become angry when they see the color red. The science
It's like, are they
is,
colorblind or something?
yeah, it's not the color of the cape that
It's the
angers the
movement.
bull, but it's the
Yeah.
movement. So they don't like the movement. Ooh, North Star is the brightest star in the night sky.
Isn't it
I
Venus?
didn't know this. The North
Well,
Star or
Venus,
Polaris
not
is
star.
the star that's positioned right above the celestial pole. Polaris is not the brightest in the night sky, not even close. It's about 50th in terms of brightness. The brightest star is Sirius. That's really fucking cool.
I've done my waiting. 12 years of it. In Azkaban. Sorry. That's serious flag.
Exactly. Serious flag. So that's really fucking cool. Um, what about one? You pick one. What's a cool one for you?
Um, let's see. I remember what's probably the one I believe the longest was probably the well, here we go. Like well, I know like not all dinosaurs want to sink by an asteroid hitting Earth because like that's birds are descendants of dinosaurs, right? So obviously
Right.
some had to survive. It said so. The myth is all dinosaurs went extinct by an asteroid hitting Earth. We know like an asteroid because I remember growing up. Like I remember we weren't sure. Like we
Yeah.
weren't like even back like they theorize like well we think like an asteroid might have hit Earth and then like the whole one in like they now we think that's the one in Mexico that did it. Well, it said we imagine that this one is shocking to hear, but the asteroid that killed the dinosaurs didn't finish the job. That sounds ominous. The asteroid or the KT extinction event that happened 65 million years ago wiped out about 80% of all plant and animal life on the planet. The effects of the asteroid and the winter fallout that occurred afterward killed all tetrapods, four-legged animals, that weighed over 50 pounds. However, some small species of dinosaurs survived and evolved into modern-day birds. This is supported by fossils. This is supported by fossils that have been found that are dated past the sedimentary layer of the KT event. This is why scientists say birds are direct descendants of the dinosaurs. This event, however, did lead to many mammals evolving into larger or more complex species, such as during the time of meat-eating lizards, mammals tend to become meals. With ecological niches open due to the KT event, mammals were able to evolve. So and this is another like kind of like a little tangent. It's like, well, we can't believe scientists because they're always changing their opinion. No, they're changing their opinion based on the fact it's not even opinions. Like they're changing what they like. Science is great in the fact of they can admit when they're wrong. Like, oh, we believe this at the beginning, but now we found new evidence. Now we don't believe it.
Right.
That sort of thing. And another one I saw about like toilet toilets like the Coriolis effect, which I know affects hurricanes. Like hurricanes in the southern hemisphere, like spin the opposite direction. I think.
Hmm.
Um, where like this one said, where to go? Like the myth is toilets flush in opposite directions depending on which side of the equator you find yourself on. It's like the popular science myth that toilet flushes or other small movements of water move in different directions, often credited to something called the Coriolis effect. The Coriolis effect is a pattern deflection that things that are not formally connected to the Earth but travel long distances across the planet. Since the Earth rotates faster at the equator than at the polar poles, objects will appear to rotate to the right in the northern hemisphere and to the left in the southern hemisphere. This is why hurricanes spin in opposite directions in the two hemispheres. However, the Coriolis effect only influences things moving great distances of long periods of time on Earth, not a 5-second toilet flush. If you want to see the Coriolis effect in action, grab a buddy, go on a merry-go-round, and toss a ball while it's stationary. Then spin it and toss the ball again. You'll see the ball appears to curve, but in fact the ball is traveling in a straight line. It is you who is moving due to the spin of the merry-go-round. So, there you go.
Cool. Yeah. I mean, there we go. That's like a lot of shit debunked right there. Um, I don't want to make this real political, but I will just touch on one point. Like that seems to be the most prevalent currently in our, at least in our society in the US, is a lot of the posting and things that you're seeing about politics and whatnot, and this candidate and that candidate and what he's going to do now and what he's not going to do. And it's it's getting to the point where, and I've talked about this before, where it's difficult for you to even understand what the fuck to believe, right? Do your research. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
do your research. Do not believe a motherfucker on the news on any fucking channel for any fucking reason. That is my own personal opinion. You do what you want, but that's my personal opinion. Not a one of them motherfucker give a shit about giving you actual facts, because not one headline is ever going to be the fucking same about the same story. Not one. Not a one motherfucking headline is going to be the same.
And if
They all have their own bias.
we were sponsored by Ground News, we would be like, this is where you go into Ground
Yes.
News, and you can
And
give
honestly, I wish we were. You know, we're not popular enough yet, I don't think, to have that kind of shit, but I would be happy to have it because I actually want to subscribe to that, because it does show you like what side of the aisle these things like lean
lean.
on, and also
Mm-hmm.
what is in the middle, and then you could go to those things. But even on that, go to the fucking source material, okay? if there was
check
something,
the hyperlinks, like the little like, we got our sources from this. Like when you go to
right,
Wikipedia, like when this is why it bothers me. Like I understand like why teachers wouldn't want kids to use Wikipedia or whatever, but if you like, it's Wikipedia is like a source within like a source. Like you basically, it's a source to expand on other sources.
right,
Because there's little links to go to the actual thing, like the actual where like a Wikipedia article is getting their information from.
right.
Like
And you can actually see how many times it was edited and by who.
yeah,
So like it's not like it's false that well, I mean there can be false things
because
on it.
people
But
yeah,
anyway,
people can edit to whatever they want, but usually it's corrected like at a certain period of time where it'll be corrected and you can see where it was corrected and what they changed. It's people act
right.
like, well, don't trust Wikipedia because anyone can edit it. Not like I can't go in and edit Wikipedia. Like you have to be a certain person, I think, to go in and edit it.
Yeah, I have no idea. I've never tried. Because I just don't have any interest in doing so. But honestly, like one of my biggest examples is if you see someone so and so said this at a rally. Okay, every person that did a rally, for the most part, they put it somewhere. Whether it's on YouTube, there's a full version of this somewhere, right? Go watch the whole thing. Go get your context, okay? Because the clip you're going to see could very easily take what was said so far out of fucking context
Well,
that it's so easy to believe the spin they want you to believe on it.
it's
And that happens on both sides of the fucking aisle,
well,
okay? Both
yeah,
sides of the fucking aisle.
it's kind of like even at the beginning of like his first campaign, like Trump, like there was a picture of him doing what they called the Nazi salute. I'm like, okay, if anyone like hailing a taxi, it looks like you're doing the Nazi salute. Like
Right.
going to like, hey, I'm going to waving to my friend over there. If you take a picture of me doing that, like, oh hey, you got to go that way. Looks like I'm doing like the fucking Nazi salute.
Right.
So it's like okay, like I don't like Hitler. Do I think he's a bona fide fascist? I don't know. I don't think he's smart enough for that shit. But it's like he's not charming enough to be Hitler, okay? And he's too fucking dumb. But if you take a picture of anyone doing anything, it's gonna look stupid and bad. Like
Right.
so, like I'm not defending Trump by any means because I definitely don't like Trump, way more than a lot of people. But it's just don't do that shit. Same with anything with like Kamala. It's like anything that she did, like, oh, she has this really grating laugh. I'm like, okay, what the fuck does that matter? She has a really grating
Right.
laugh. It's like oh, or like even when like Hillary was, they're like, oh, look at Hillary's a robot lizard person because look how she blinked in this one video. It's like, oh my fucking god. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's dumb, right? You can literally get anyone to tell you anything and somebody's going to believe it if you don't go do your research. That's just my point. And I feel
Mm-hmm.
like if we say too much more on this, we're just going to be repeating ourselves. I think
Yeah.
that's kind of where we need to stop it if unless you have more to say.
No.
Um just do your research, okay? Don't take anyone's word for shit. Be a critical thinker, especially now, and just keep that shit going.
Question everything.
Seriously. And I hate to be like cynical like that, but what is the alternative? Does anyone else have a better alternative? I would rather not believe shit at face value and just repeat shit that people have told me and then lest I look like a dumbass. You know what
That's
I mean?
that's
Or
basically like why I
mislead
almost
somebody
never
else.
post. Like I never share like posts on like Facebook. Like you'll never like really see me sharing like a news story or something on Facebook because one, I don't really use my Facebook for that. And two, it's more of like if I don't 100% know that this is true, I'm not sharing it. I'm not
No.
sharing something. I'll share like a funny meme that has nothing to do with anything, but I'm not sharing like I'm not a news source. So I'm not
Right.
sharing another news source as if it's like to like give it credibility, that sort of thing.
Right. All right. So I think that's that.
That's that. That's it. That's all I got.
That's all we got. Let's hit the fun and fuckery portion.
Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Here we go. All right. I have done a little shuffle on the cards, and chaos mode worked. We had one that flipped out all by itself, so we're gonna see what that card says.
Okay.
Ooh, I like this. Holy fitting. Okay, whoa, here we go. Like I said, chaos mode. I just grabbed the cards, fucking shuffled, and this one came flying out. If you could have any fictional object that grants you wisdom or knowledge, what would it be and why? That's cool. We was just talking about knowledge and learning shit for yourself. I didn't even plan that shit. Thanks, universe. That was nice. That was a
It's like
nice
a
little gift.
fiction. I answered last time first. How about you answer first
Okay.
this time first?
Any fictional object
That gives you knowledge.
that gives me knowledge.
I feel like a lot of there's like it's hard to think of one because it's like there's a lot of things that like crystal balls and stuff or
Yeah.
like like Magic 8 Balls. Like I know Magic 8 Balls like in real life are just toys, but I mean like in some shows or something they give actual like answers. So
Yeah. I feel like because I love the witchy shit, um, it would be like a combination of like the Doctor Who thing that he
the
has. I
screwdriver,
forget what it's. Yeah, the
sonic
sonic
screwdriver.
screwdriver and like a wand, right?
So yeah, the TARDIS. Like it's not TARDIS doesn't give you really knowledge, but if you could travel anywhere in time and
Anywhere in
space,
time.
oh my god. Like
The things you could go back and learn for yourself. Like you don't
mhm,
have to wonder what happened when Caesar died. Did he really say et tu, Brute?
mhm.
You could just go
Or is
watch
that
it
just
happen and be like,
Shakespeare? Was that
that
Shakespeare?
motherfucker never said that.
That was just
Yeah.
Shakespeare making shit up.
Right. That motherfucker never said that. He said, fuck you, Brutus. You know what I mean? Like, you don't know what he said. You know what I mean?
And
I think, yeah, I
in
would love a
reality,
TARDIS.
he just went. Eh,
He just gurgled and then died. Yeah.
got stabbed 37 times. You know.
Yeah, that makes much more sense that he would not be able to form a sentence after being stabbed that many times. Especially if Brutus was the last one to stab him. So, yeah, I want a TARDIS. What do you want?
I guess, like I said, either a TARDIS or something that grants me knowledge. I'm just trying to think of because like I just got done watching Agatha All Along, and they use tarot cards, which gives them answers to things, and
Mm-hmm.
so it's like, but it's not necessarily like something I would necessarily want for myself. And then I was thinking like Harry Potter thing, like the Conclave, where but that's like you have to like have people's memories in order to see it, sort of thing. I don't know, it's hard. I guess like just the TARDIS. Like I always love the idea of being able to like just travel in time, like just travel anywhere. Not necessarily change things, because like who am I to have that sort of power, but more to like just
Right.
to witness historical events just to see what really happened.
Yeah.
Like it would be awe-inspiring to like see the explosion of Pompeii. Would I want to be sitting in Pompeii? No, I would not. But I would like to be sitting on the ocean somewhere just watching Pompeii happen, right? Like
Right.
watching Mount Vesuvius happen, or like just like even if like a agnostic person like seeing like going back in time and seeing like Jesus like
Yeah.
seeing him giving the Sermon on the Mount, that sort of thing. Obviously, I wouldn't be able to understand him, but like if it came with the caveat that if like the TARDIS rules, if I could understand everyone that's talking, that sort of thing,
Yeah.
like I just knew the language, like even if like because historically Jesus was a person, like they have proven that
Right.
Jesus was a person. Whether or not he was the Messiah, that's up to you. That's up to debate, whatever. But like seeing like Jesus as a person would be awe inspiring because obviously he has his whole thing has inspired billions and billions of people. So
Right.
that sort of stuff, or seeing the construction of the Great Wall of China or the pyramids of Giza, like that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Like
That's what I want to see. I
yeah,
want to go back to that time. I want to see how the motherfuckers was really built.
yeah, it's like
Was it the
aliens,
Anunnaki? Was
yeah,
it the aliens? Was it them fuckers? Or was
or
it really just
Stonehenge.
rolling
Like
shit on fucking.
I want to see Scott,
Oh my god, yeah,
like the
Stonehenge.
rolling the people like Stonehenge into the
Yeah. Was it some, alien with fucking powers that floated the stones in like they say happened, or some anti-gravity device or some shit? I want to know
or
what
like even
happened to the Mayans?
or
What happened to
Atlantis.
the Mayans?
Like it's if it
Yeah,
was late for
Atlantis.
you, like if you could like plug it into like okay, just take me to what people thought was Atlantis,
Yeah.
what Plato or whoever it was that wrote about Atlantis, what they thought Atlantis was. Take me there, and
Yeah.
so I could see it. And like I think it also the caveat of like I want to be invisible. Like I don't want them to see me because how would I
Right.
explain this?
Yeah.
But I want to be invisible and just witness it for myself.
Yeah, have the ability of being like a fly on the wall. Like
Yeah.
where you really no one notices you. You
Hmm.
just don't exist. And then you can't butterfly effect anything. Do you know
Right.
what I mean? Like,
Right.
because
Because
you're
like
not actually there.
yeah, because I'm not. I don't want to cause the apocalypse.
No, no, we don't want to change anything. So you would have to be invisible lest someone see you and
Mm-hmm.
change the course of their life. You know what I mean?
Right. Exactly.
But yeah. So yeah, I love that. That was a fucking cool question. I
Yeah.
love it. Awesome. All right.
We're
I like
some
these
we're we're,
cards.
we're some learned bitches.
We is some learned bitches. I like these cards. I think we should keep doing this. What do you think?
Yeah, I like them too.
These are fun. Okay,
Get us
cool.
get us
Let's
thinking.
yeah, it gets you thinking. It's a little something different than just let's talk about a Mad Lib now.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so yeah, let's speaking of, let's do it. I have
Yeah,
words for you. Do you want
I do.
them? Okay,
I
cool.
need a place, ma'am.
A gas station bathroom.
Oh, gross.
Yeah. Yep.
Only for the desperate. Adjective.
Decked out.
Though, remember that one gas station we went to on the way to Chicago? That was the nicest bathroom I've ever been in my
Yeah,
life. Like
Bucky's.
that nicest public. It wasn't Bucky's. It was
Oh, what was it? Wally's.
it wasn't Bucky's. I know, yeah, Bucky's is like a famous gas station chain, but a convenience store chain, but yeah, it was like that was the nicest public bathroom I've ever been in my life.
Yeah, it was Wally's. That's what it
Yeah.
was.
What
I
was
just
the
googled it.
adjective? What'd you say?
Decked out.
Decked
Like he
out.
was decked out in diamonds, or they decked out that truck, or whatever people say.
Yeah. I know lingo. Noun.
Station wagon.
A decked out
Speaking of
station wagon.
vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Brady Bunch is getting lit.
With them back seats to face the other way and everything.
Mm-hmm. How just caused me nausea, I think. Adverb.
Swimmingly.
I haven't seen adverb on this in a long time.
I know.
Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Adjective.
Expansive.
Expand your mind.
Also fitting. Even though I did this before we decided what exactly we were talking about. So many synchronicities.
Verb.
Fuck.
Fuck. Adjective.
Engorged.
Ew, I hate that word.
Same.
Animal.
Hyena.
I always just think of the ones from Lion King.
Oh, for sure.
Type of food.
Is there any other hyena? I mean, come on.
Well, also, are there any in the Disney Valley? Dreamlight Valley?
No. Oh, yes. In the Lion King realm, which is a part of the base game, you don't actually see the hyenas, but you see all their eyes, and you have to like do a quest that like keeps them from coming into the oasis. It's a thing.
Oh, gotcha.
But you don't actually see them. And they just added Timon and Pumbaa, who I just got.
Nice.
So they weren't in there before, but they just added them. Okay. Anyway, I'm sorry. Hyena, and then what do you need now?
Type of food.
Blood sausage.
And then adjective.
Greasy.
Part of the body, plural.
Fake tits.
Plural noun.
Sharks.
Shark. Also, if it seems like it's taking longer, it's because I realized I was writing the words in this thing, and so I'm like, oh no.
You can't make fun of me for doing it now. I did it once before too, and you were like, Nikki!
At least I realized it like halfway through. I'm like, oh no. Shark. Type of food.
Turkey legs. Or turkey leg.
Turkey leg. Turkey
Whichever
leg.
works better.
Turkey leg.
Oh, I should have said Sloppy Joe.
Slap it,
I'll
Joe.
have to use that next time.
Slap it, Joe. Slap it, Joe.
Slap it, Joe, now.
Adjective.
Swift. Not Taylor.
Not of the Taylor variety.
Nope, not of the Taylor variety.
Though I will say I don't really have a problem with her. I know a lot of people don't like her for
really don't
whatever
either.
reason. Same with like
I'm indifferent.
Oh yeah, I'm indifferent. She doesn't affect my life, so
Nope.
it's what do I care? Let's see. Okay. Verb.
Judo chop.
Judo chop.
Hiya.
And last number.
47. Don't know why. It had nothing to do with the president, but when I saw it, I was like, oh shit.
Agent 47.
Yeah.
Hitman reference. So this is picture it, Sicily, 1912. And of course we have Sophia here. Picture it, the gas station, 1912. A decked out peasant girl meets a station wagon and they fall swimmingly in love. Her expansive parents disapprove, however, and she decides to fuck away from the village.
Fuck off.
For months, she travels the engorged countryside, riding a hyena and living only on blood sausage. It's like, is she in Norway? They love blood sausage there. Finally, she gathers up enough courage to return to her greasy village. Worried that she will never be accepted again, she is greeted with open fake tits.
Ew. Close them bitches up. You won't get an infection.
Mom, stop. She and her parents do the traditional dance of the sharks and celebrate with a feast of turkey leg. Everyone is swift with joy. The point is, no matter how far away you judo chop, you have to remember to cook the spaghetti sauce for 47 hours.
I love it. Oh, Sophia. Ain't she the best one?
Oh, Dorothy.
She really is. Oh, Dorothy.
And the fact that she was the youngest of them all is just baffling.
Was she really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, I think I have to look it up to double check. See, like I said, don't believe everything you hear, but I'm pretty sure she was the youngest actress of the four of them.
We're gonna find out right now.
Okay.
Who was the youngest?
Golden Girl.
Golden Girl in real life. Oh, it was Rue McClanahan who played Blanche.
Okay, see,
I thought the youngest.
Yeah, I thought maybe Estelle was like at least their age, like wasn't old enough to be their mom, like Dorothy's mom. But see, like I said, don't believe.
Yes. So Estelle Getty, who plays Sophia, is older than B. Arthur, despite playing her mother on the show. That can't be correct.
Like, what do you mean despite? Like, that means she.
I know that doesn't sound
like,
right.
Like maybe they meant like she's older than her, but not enough to be like her mom. That sort of thing.
Okay, here we go. Was Estelle Getty younger than B. Arthur? She was a year younger than her.
Yeah. Okay. So she played. So it's kind of right. She wasn't the youngest, but she was younger than the person that she played her that played her daughter.
Yes, that played her daughter. She was younger by 1 year.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, but Rue McClanahan was the youngest, so Blanche was the youngest. I would have thought it was
Rose.
Rose. Yeah, same. But probably just because she played the character so well of like the
and what's funny is that
innocent.
Before, like originally, Rose was supposed to play Blanche's character.
Oh hell no!
Because she played a character like that on another show. I think I don't know if it was the Mary Tyler Moore show, but basically they had switched roles basically.
I think that was the best decision possible because she plays a ditz so much better. I think.
Well, I mean, she probably played. It's Betty White; she can play anything. But it's because we just see her as Rose. But she probably could have played Blanche because she did play a Blanche character before. It's just it's so ingrained of her as Rose. But yeah, she was great as they were both great in the roles.
Yeah, love it. All right, well, that's all she wrote, folks. Something we haven't done in a long time. I'm finna do. Ready?
Julie, do the thing!
I'm afraid there are no more things to do.
Hey, Julie's back.
We missed you.
I love it. Anyway.
And then Tenzin for good measure.
And a Tenzin for good measure. We love it. Okay, for real, we gotta go. All the podcasty shit in the show notes, as always. The best thing you can do if you don't want to come hang out with us on Facebook and chat and hang out over there is like, comment, rate, review, share all the things on all the podcast platforms that will allow you to do it. Whatever you're listening on, if it allows you to rate and review the show, please do it. Even if you just type review in the review. I don't give a shit what you put in there. Just type a word. Say reviewed. in the review and put the 5 stars or whatever. 5 stars is what gets us the best if you really like us. If you like us, put the 5 stars, okay? You got to put the 5 stars. And that will help us to be found by more people who might like us too. That's how you help us, all right? Go do that. All the rest of the shit's in the show notes. We love you, and we're going to get the hell out of here now. Okay, bye.
Okay, bye.